Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, April 3rd, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald, reporting from the safe confines of my home. The Boston Globe reports that at the Charleswell House on Walpole Street, 7 residents with underlying conditions and who tested positive for the COVID-19 have sadly succumbed to that illness. For 3 of those seniors, COVID-19 was listed as the official cause of death. Residents who have less severe symptoms are being isolated at the retirement and assisted living facility. Last week, WBZ reported that no visitors are allowed in the building and the facility is not taking any new patients. Charleswell Vice President of Operations Chris Roberts said, "I'm sorry this pandemic happened and they had to go through this. I'm sorry that the world has to go through this, but I'm extra sorry that these 2 families have to go through it in such an intense way." Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families whose lives have been affected by the COVID-19. We'll be right back after this break for some more town news.
Hi, Sigal Reese, Norwood's Public Health Director. I want to remind residents that we are still following the governor's guidelines to stay home as much as possible, but I also want people to know it's okay to go outside and enjoy the outdoors. You can take a walk with your family or take a bike ride and get some exercise, but it's also important to maintain that social distancing from others and that 6-foot separation. You can also wash your hands before you leave and when you come home, but the most important thing is to avoid gathering in large groups. We don't want to see groups of people playing basketball or other contact sports, and we need to maintain social distancing. So definitely go out, enjoy the fresh air, but do it in a safe way, and together we can all stop and slow the spread of COVID-19.
Welcome back. General Manager Tony Mazzucco is here to provide us with an update on how the town is operating through the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hi folks, General Manager Tony Mazzucco here, coming to you with a special monthly update. As many of you may be aware, on Wednesday, Governor Baker ordered that all non-essential businesses remain closed until May 4th. Here's what this means for us here in Norwood. Town Hall will remain closed to the public with services available online or via appointment. Schools are closed until May 4th. The Civic and the library will remain closed to the public and only offering services that can be offered remotely or without congregating. This may have an impact on seasonal programming. It's still too early to determine that yet. Current operational changes as a result of COVID-19 at the Norwood Fire, Norwood Police, Norwood Light, and the Public Works Department will remain in effect until at least May 4th. The town election has been rescheduled to early June and town meeting until late June, pending a final vote of the Board of Selectmen in the next couple of weeks. I'd also like to announce that we're launching a Citizen Information Center. Beginning Monday, April 6th, we're launching this new Citizen Information Center. This is a one-stop shop for questions, comments, and concerns residents have. We have staff assigned from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday to answer questions and help you get access to whatever resources you need. Things will be slow at first as we develop networks and access to resources, but you can call us with any problems you're having, questions you may have, or assistance you may need, and our call takers will work to get you that information. We're here to help, and you can call us at 781-352-2363 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Callers will take your information down, research and answer for you, and get back to you. We know there's a lot of information out there and we want you to have one place to call so we can help you navigate through. Call us. We are here to help. I want to talk for a moment about how we make decisions during an emergency in the town of Norwood. Our emergency operations procedures are similar to many communities in the country when an emergency is presented. A state of emergency is declared, an incident command system established to manage the incident. Decisions are run through the incident command team. Our model in Norwood has us operating on consensus, with all decisions being viewed through a public health lens, as this is a public health emergency, and we need to look at our decisions and our actions in that context. Our ICS team consists of myself, Sigal Reese, our health director, Bernie Cooper, our assistant general manager, Kathy Carney, our director of administrative services, and Stacy Lane, our assistant health director and public health nurse. We meet every morning, digitally of course, and review our command briefing and action items. Weekly, we have a larger call with an expanded group that includes public safety, leadership from the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Health, and the school department. There are also a number of other routine meetings, all digitally of course, with partners such as the hospital, and numerous briefings and conference calls with our counterparts, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, the Department of Public Health, and others. We also have staff assigned as liaisons focusing on critical areas of need in the community, such as monitoring grocery stores, food security, and other facilities. I know that this crisis is taking a toll on society, but I'm also keenly aware of the impact it's having on many people's mental health and well-being. I'd like everyone to take some time to reflect on where you are, how you're doing, and what you can do to keep you and your family well during this crisis. We have information on the Impact Norwood website about access to various mental health resources. Please take a look, as we want everyone to take care of themselves during this emergency. I also want to take a moment to talk about the next few weeks and what we're going to see. In the next few weeks, we anticipate the Commonwealth hitting what we call the peak or the surge of viral infections and hospitalizations. This will be a period of maximum pressure on hospitals, with many reaching or exceeding capacity. This will likely be the hardest period of time for the community, certainly most so for those on the front lines, but for all of us. There will be challenging news coming out about overworked and overloaded hospitals, and the number of individuals testing positive for COVID-19, and unfortunately the number of deaths, will rise as well. After some time at peak, growth in the numbers will slow, and then the total number overall will decrease. The exact timeline is unknown, of course, and could change in either direction. The coming surge will be the most challenging time for us in the community, and healthcare workers in particular. The news you see on TV may be grim. We have to show empathy for those suffering and those continuing to work during these conditions, and we here at the town are committed to continuing to do what must be done for our community and for each other. We're here to help, and we're here to serve the community. So where do we go from here? We face unprecedented times that will continue to test us as a community. Despite the greatest public health emergency we've faced in a century, despite some of the negativity and the loss and the coming challenges of recovery, we will overcome. I say this not out of a simple desire or obligation just to sound optimistic, but out of an honest look at what we have already overcome, what we have achieved, and what we have produced. If you think about it, in less than 30 days, society has completely upended itself. Our entire lifestyle has changed. We've completely changed how we work, how we shop, how we communicate, how we educate, how we interact with each other, all in under a month. The resiliency shown by our community has been nothing short of breathtaking during this period of unimaginable change. What has not changed, however, is our sense of charity, our sense of community, and our commitment to our neighbors and to each other. That has always been Norwood's greatest strength, and that is what will see us through these challenging times. A favorite author of mine once said, "What will come, and we will meet it when it does." We've got this, Norwood.
With the non-essential business closure extended to May 4th, the Recreation Department will continue to offer virtual content for the community. Travis Farley has an update on all things Norwood Rec.
Hi Norwood, Travis Farley here with the Norwood Recreation Department. We just want to provide the residents an update with everything that's going on with the Recreation Department for the month of April and May and even the summer. So the Civic Center will remain closed until Monday, May 4th. We have also decided to cancel and postpone a lot of our programming in April. That includes all of Spring 1, our famous Easter egg hunt, all April vacation programming has been postponed or canceled. We're hoping to make the Easter egg hunt up, so please stay tuned to our social media page. We are going to suspend registration for all of our summer programs. This is just out of concern that if this does run into the summer, this gives us the flexibility to change programming around, and that way we don't have to issue thousands of credits to all the residents who sign up for our summer programs. We do apologize for the inconvenience, but we feel like it's the best move for the department right now. Playgrounds, basketball courts, and tennis courts will remain open. We do ask residents to limit the number of people that are in the playgrounds and using the facility at one time. We do ask residents to practice social distancing, and we do ask residents to wash their hands when they immediately follow the playground. We are keeping these open to give the public a means to get out and we use these facilities during the pandemic, so we hope you can use those and just follow those rules for us. Athletic fields remain closed to organized play. That includes soccer fields, football fields, lacrosse fields, baseball fields, all closed for organized play. But we do encourage you, if you want to go for a walk or use them with your family, please do so. Just no contact sports, no organized play on those fields as well.
And you may have noticed a familiar face hopping around the streets of Norwood the other day. That's right, the Easter Bunny was able to make it to Norwood. Of course, even bunny rabbits follow social distancing rules, but the kids were able to say hi and get their candy regardless. Thanks to the rec department for making it happen. The Norwood Library offers a wide variety of options to keep you engaged while they are closed. Charlotte Kennelly, Library Director, explains all the benefits the Norwood Memorial Library is offering to keep you connected while they are closed.
As soon as we had any indication that this might happen, that libraries might be closing, we started looking into getting a Zoom subscription for our library, and knowing that we would be Zooming with the staff. We also started researching all kinds of different ways that we could do Facebook Live. There's Google Meet. and Zoom and all the other different ways that we're able to reach our patrons. Well, some of the services that we've always had, but are more important than ever to our patrons, are our Overdrive books through the Libby app or through the, any other kind of app that they have on their phone to read books, listen to audiobooks, watch videos. Flipster is an amazing magazine resource that we've had for several years now. I always download Flipster magazines before I go on the airplane. Because they're downloaded, you can read them without a connection. But in addition to that, we have Hoopla, and Hoopla has some great resources for kids, because not only does it have movies, but it also has some books, books that they can actually read, and it also has audio books, and great movies and TV series and various things. And Canopy is another service we've had for quite some time. And it's very easy to log into these with your library card, but if you need help, all you have to do is email the library. You can't really call the library because they're not there, but you could possibly call and leave a message for me. There are directions on how to do that, and I can pass that information on. But the best way is to chat with the librarian on our website, and it's an icon on the bottom right that says chat. And we have that manned from 9 to 5 every weekday. And often it's manned on the weekends. If somebody happens to be online, they'll just open that up so that they can be answering questions. We've had a lot of questions on Saturdays that somebody happens to take. And if it isn't manned from 9 to 5, if you write your chat right into the box, it goes into an email, and a librarian will get to you as soon as possible, as soon as the next morning or whenever they receive that email. So that chat feature is something that we mobilized right before we closed, and we started to use it and figure out any of the glitches, and it's working beautifully, and people have had all kinds of great questions answered. The biggest question they're getting right now is, how do I get onto Canopy? How do I get onto Hoopla? How do I get into Flipster? And can you help me with my library card? My library card's expired, and we will go in and re-up you for your next card. And you can also get a library card by going to our website. You just click on get a library card. You can fill out the form, and you automatically get access to those great resources that we have online. And in addition, of course, we've got programs, I think, at 12:30 every day. We have story times. We have IT moments that Brian is doing. We just have a slew of librarians who are working from home, who are helping everybody, so much during the day that we're helping our patrons get used to this new digital world.
Stay tuned after this break for some school and government news.
Governor Charlie Baker announced that all restaurants and dining establishments will now have to operate as takeout facilities until April 6. With many family-owned restaurants in town, this puts a big financial strain on the owners. Residents are still encouraged to use the takeout option and help out local restaurants through these tough times. Another way to support these establishments is to purchase gift cards to be used when the ban is lifted. We have a great town with a wide range of culinary choices that, with your help, can remain open during these uncertain times.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, the school department held 3 Norwood Pride Drive parades around the Norwood neighborhoods featuring principals and teachers. They covered over 30 miles of Norwood streets, and the teachers and students really enjoyed seeing each other. Here's CMS principal, Dr. Margot Frasick, who organized the event.
So I've definitely been seeing them online, some teachers, down in South, Alabama, Missouri. They've been going out to visit their kids. Some of the elementaries in my own town did it last week. So a couple of my teachers saw that, reached out to me, and we said, all right, let's do it. So then I reached out to the superintendent to say, hey, can CMS do a pride drive? And he went, sure, as long as you invite the entire district. So that's kind of how it became, a district-wide pride drive. We started with one drive and then ended up breaking it into three. As of last night, we had 187 people sign up to do the drive with us. So definitely glad that we went into three different groupings. And then we just kind of plotted things out. So broke Norwood into three different sections. I started plotting out routes. I'm not really sure why the girl from outside of Seattle, Washington was the one in charge of plotting out the routes, but that's kind of how it worked out. The other principals jumped in and helped to kind of make some corrections, add some pieces. Let me know about this fabulous map we have on our website that outlines all the elementary schools. Wish I had had it about 2 hours before I got it. So once we had them all plotted out, checked by the principals to make sure that they were pretty accurate, that we were hitting the majority of our neighborhoods, our goal was to go into as many neighborhoods as we possibly could because, we certainly wanted to keep our kids and our families safe and socially distant. Then we got it out to our teachers, and then we kind of posted it out wide. We sent it out via Connect Ed. Each of the individual principals, we took our routes and posted them widely. Schools that cover the whole town, we divided into three. So CMS, the high school, the Willett, the LMPA. We divided our people up between the three different routes. So that's kind of how it all came together and ended up here at 10 o'clock in the morning. And and thank goodness for the Norwood Police. This would not have worked without them. So Lieutenant Patton was with us. Officer Mahoney helped to arrange for the SROs and the school liaison officers to help out as well. Without their help, it definitely would have been a disaster. So thank you so much to Chief Brooks and to the Norwood Police for all of your help.
Prior to the parade, there were concerns about following social distancing recommendations.
There were concerns about social distancing. I haven't checked with the other principals yet, but I saw no groups of more than a single family anywhere. Most people were staying in their front yards. The big apartment complexes we went to, people waved out of windows, they went out on balconies. So it was just so great. And we certainly expected to see our families and see our kids. What I think maybe we've forgotten about is that so many of the elderly residents of Norwood have not been able to get out for possibly even longer. So many of our older residents were waving at us, were filming us. We're just so excited, I think. So I think hopefully we brought a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness to what's been a really, really difficult time for a lot of people.
I was lucky enough to be part of that parade, and I know how much it meant to myself and all the other NHS teachers and teachers across the district to be able to see their students. We just miss them so much, so it was a great opportunity for all of us. The Norwood Food Services has expanded its grab-and-go lunch and breakfast program, and now it's available at all of the elementary schools in town. Here's Director of Dining Services, Eli Norris, with an update.
We're very excited to expand our offerings for our meals, our grab-and-go meals. They're going to be available now at all 5 community elementary schools, starting at 11 a.m. going until 1 p.m. We're doing breakfast and lunch daily. There'll be a variety of breakfast and lunch options, cold and hot. The hot options like the chicken nuggets you can take home. We're including heating instructions so you can cook them right at home and enjoy them hot. And since we've started, we've been doing about 600 meals a day, both breakfast and lunch. We also like to thank our community partners, Buildings and Grounds, Facilities Department, as well as the Greater Boston Food Bank. They were able to help us secure a donation of 3 pallets of milk from Dunkin' Donuts that we've been able to disperse into our community. Also like to thank our frontline associates who've been very excited and pleased to continue working and seeing the students. It's been great to still be a part of the Students' Day. Even if it's just for a quick moment and even if it's at a safe distance, it's been great to see the kids.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eli, and thank you to your staff for packing and handing out those meals. They serve over 700 breakfast and 700 lunch meals a day and have served over 12,000 meals since school has been closed. Again, anyone 18 years of age or under can stop by grab-and-go meals from 11 to 1. Now we toss it over to Brian Dunn for some sports news.
Hey everybody, welcome into the sports update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn and we have a few announcements for sports. As of Monday, the MIAA Board of Directors made the decision to continue with the reduced season. The spring sports season will start on May 4th, which lines up with the school reopening, with an 8-week regular and postseason tournament concluding the season with an extended date of June 27th. For more information on this, you can visit MIAA.net for the full release. And last week, we called out to you, the Mustang faithful, to send in your Mustangs at Home sports video submissions. And last week did not disappoint, so take a look at some of the highlights. And that'll do it for sports for me this week. You can find the reposts of all the sports videos, Mustangs at Home submissions we got on our Twitter and Instagram page. And you can also follow us on social media for updated sports content as we go. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. The planning board met virtually Monday night. The meeting began by discussing an approval not required plan on 83 Morse Street, as well as a continued public hearing of the mixed-use overlay district development on 12 to 14 Day Street. Other agenda items included discussion on upcoming annual town meeting articles and future meeting planning. The planning board will meet again in the coming weeks. The Budget Balancing Committee met Thursday afternoon to cover a number of agenda items. The meeting started with an approval of minutes, then a discussion of the school department FY21 budget and the FY21 revenue estimates. After a brief discussion, committee member Plasko made a motion that the Budget Balancing Committee endorse the general managers, the school committees, and the shared budget as presented, and to have an open discussion on how to handle the capital items.
I think what we're voting on is on the budget request form that was distributed. The total budget request, all areas combined, is $206,859,119.
Can you show that page, please?
Right there.
I've got it on the screen now.
All right, and that fits within all the requirements that we just discussed.
Yes.
Okay, all right, then
Any
I will.
other questions or discussion? Okay, then I'll poll. Teresa?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Anne?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And me? Yes. Okay, unanimous. Thank you.
Following the vote, the committee discussed the school's Special Education Reserve Fund and the facilities budget. The next meeting for the Budget Balancing Committee will be in the coming weeks. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch us on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for some more town news.
Who's most at risk for coronavirus? People over 65, people with underlying medical conditions like heart disease, chronic lung disease, asthma, diabetes, people undergoing cancer treatment, and people with weakened immune systems. What should you do if you or a loved one is at higher risk? Avoid close contact with people, avoid crowds, stay home if you can, wash your hands frequently, learn more ways to protect yourself and others at coronavirus.gov.
Welcome back. A Norwood-based company is stepping up and helping first responders throughout the entire Northeast. Founded in 1933, M.S. Walker is a fifth-generation family-owned importer, distributor, bottler, and national supplier of wine and spirits. In light of the recent COVID-19 situation, they were able to pivot their production capabilities to focus on the production of hand sanitizer. Norwood Community Media contacted MS Walker and received this statement. Leveraging our supply of high-proof grain alcohol and expertise in developing formulas, we have ramped up production to provide more than 50,000 bottles of sanitizing solution free of charge to our team members, local first responders, and organizations in desperate need of hand sanitizer, which is currently hard to come by on store shelves. Norwood Department of Public Works recently received a shipment, and here is Director of Public Works, Town Engineer Mark Ryan.
Hi everyone, Mark Ryan here from Norwood Public Works, and during this trying times, I want to tell you a feel-good story happening right here in Norwood. Chip Nickerson, one of our employees, was on Facebook checking out things and recognized a Norwood-based company, MS Walker, who's a liquor distributor, was manufacturing and supplying hand sanitizers to local first responders. So Chip called up MS Walker, and they couldn't have been any nicer or more helpful, and we went by, got a case of hand sanitizer that is manufactured in Reedville, I believe, and then it's brought to the distributor shop on University Ave in Norwood. So they're doing a great service during these trying times. This hand sanitizer is used by the guys all day long, sanitizing the vehicles. There's a bottle in every vehicle. And we've also given the men and women personalized bottles that they keep refilling, and they're instructed to always have that on themselves to sanitize their hands very frequently. So thank you, MS Walker, for doing a great service to all area first responders. And to everyone out there in Norwood, please stay healthy, keep practicing that good hygiene, and also social distancing. Thank you.
Big thank you to Norwood-based MS Walker. It is obvious they take pride in the deep connections they have made with the local community. Thanks for keeping us safe. A few weeks ago, 5 to 10 volunteers began a group called Making Masks in Norwood, with the main purpose of making fabric washable masks for nurses. Sponsored by Together Yes, Making Masks in Norwood now have quickly grown to over 300 volunteers who cut fabric in advance to be delivered to SOAS. SOAS, who actually put the masks together, couriers, a small team who made porch deliveries and pickup of materials and masks, observing strict hygienic practices, and a few coordinators who manage all of the above. If you're interested in ways to help, the group is in need of some additional SOAS. They also need help to acquire supplies. Lastly, they would welcome any elastic and interfacing that home sewers or sewing businesses might have to spare. To help in any way, please visit Facebook, Making Masks in Norwood, or email norwoodmasks@gmail.com. COVID-19 has affected a lot of people in many ways, and with the non-essential order implemented by Governor Baker until May 4th, small businesses in town have been forced to close their doors. Charlotte Walsh, owner of Charles River Running, explains how she is able to operate under these conditions.
So we closed the doors to our business, probably 2 weeks ago. We stopped our run club like 3 weeks ago. We realized that this change was coming and that businesses were going to close, and we wanted to kind of get ahead of it. So how we're kind of adapting is just taking orders over the phone. We have a lot of customers that know what shoe they like, and we have records of it in our system. So we've just been kind of filling orders over the phone and taking payment over the phone, and then either delivering the shoes to a person's house, or we put them outside the door in a bag with their name on it, and people have just been walking by and picking them up.
Charlotte is in the process of expanding her online presence so she can be there for her customers.
We have a couple of things that we sell online. We sell some of our store apparel and car seat covers, and we also have gift certificates online. So that's another great way to help a small business, is to purchase a gift certificate that you'll either use once the doors open back up, or you could gift to someone else. And right now I am working with a software company right now to put 100% of my inventory online. So that is in the works.
Charlotte wants all the other businesses affected by this in town to know they are not alone.
Yeah, just don't give up. Your community is here to support you and help you through this trying time. I would also encourage small businesses to call their banks, because there is a lot of money that is coming through the federal government to approved SBA lending banks, which a lot of banks right here in Norwood are SBA approved lenders. And there's a lot of things that are going to happen where we can get money from the government to help keep employees on payroll, help pay rent, just to try to shore up the businesses for the next couple months. I think the help in the resources is there. We just need to be just constantly looking for it and responding to the information when we get it, filling out the applications with the SBA, and just don't give up.
The community is continuing to face the challenges that come with staying home and doing activities remotely, including workouts. That's why local gyms such as Burn Bootcamp have stepped up for their neighbors and community. Laura Goldberg explains how Burn Bootcamp is offering their services remotely.
So we knew that we had to provide something virtually for everyone. And one thing about our gym is that we are so community driven at Burn Bootcamp. So we wanted to make sure that we still had that community aspect to it. So we have a closed members Facebook group that we have the majority of our members that are on Facebook are in there, where we're providing them those virtual workouts, but now adding in this whole other social media content for them to make sure that they're not losing that community feel and that interaction with each other.
Thanks, Laura. We look forward to hearing from others about how the local exercise community is staying active. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.